guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to try something a little bit new. The reason I originally started a YouTube channel was because I have found very few people that I watch on a regular basis that are close to my age, number one, that have the same type of issues that I have with my skin. A lot of those being due to not being close to my age, and it's hard to relate to somebody who's 20 years old. I'm 37. You don't have the same problems with your skin that I have with my skin, so trying to compensate for large pores, oily skin, wrinkles, the whole 9 yards is a little bit harder when you're just 20. Unfortunately, I wish I had 20-year-old skin, but I don't. So, all that being said, I'm going to start with What's Your Problem Wednesday. And I guess I really didn't think this through very well, because hopefully I'm not going to have 52 problems so that I have a new problem every week, but I'm sure I can find something. We're going to deal with everything from makeup, hair. We're just going to kind of go through everything, and if you have any suggestions or a certain problem that you have, list it in the comments below, and we'll see if we can get that on to one of these Wednesdays and kind of discuss it and see if we can figure out a problem. Not a problem. We don't want a problem. I don't need to be figuring out problems. See if we can figure out a resolution to our problems. So, and I was going to start off first thing with the under eye today. And I will say what I have been using lately is the Paula's Choice face products for cleaning my face. And then I have been using, I'm in search of a really good eye cream. What I've been using lately is the oil of Olay Eye Cream, just because I like a really thick eye cream, and this is, it's just about gone, but it's really thick. So that's what I use for my eyes. Every once in a while I will also use the Josie Marin argan oil, and I'll get a little bit of it and put it, you know, underneath my eyes and on top of my eyelids, just because the skin on my eyelids is not the same as it used to be even 5-10 years ago. So that sucks, but there is not anything I can do about it. When I do have a little bit of discoloration under my eyes. Depends on how much sleep you get and all that kind of good stuff. But I have found the Benefit Erase Paste is pretty good for that. This one is in Fair, number 1, and I want to go to the number 2. Just because it has a little bit more of the salmon color to it. Focus. There you go. This is super thick. But that's okay, because everything, if I set something, you can see it's just kind of got a light pinky tone to it. So this also brightens a little bit. If I put concealer on underneath my eyes and then I try and set it with a powder, instantly it looks like I'm like 150 years old, because it'll get crepey and it just drives me nuts. So a lot of times I won't set under my eyes, even if I use ItCosmetics Bye Bye Undereye. And if you've ever used this, you know that this stuff is super duper thick. I'm in the color medium neutral. I'll show you a little bit of this if you haven't ever used it. How's my phone? Sorry. Okay, look. Do it this way. It's super thick. You see that? I mean, it's like, but, and I'll just kind of like dab it under my eyes, and I'll get my beauty blender and I don't know why this camera doesn't focus, and it makes me like lose my focus because I can't talk while I'm trying to, there it goes, wait for it to focus. It's weird. Maybe it's meant to be, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, I'll put that under my under eyes, and I'll get my beauty blender and kind of, you know, blend it out a little bit so that it's not so thick. But it's still, I still haven't found like the perfect where I'm like, do it and I'm like, oh, it's perfect. So if you have any suggestions, leave them down below. As far as concealer goes, also the Urban Decay Naked Weightless Foundation. This stuff is really, really good. It's really thin and it's pretty sheer, but you can kind of build it up a little bit without getting the cakiness. Because anything, if I set it with powder, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna look cakey anyways. So if you just kind of, you know, blend it out a little bit, and then put a, if you need more, you can put a little bit more. If you're not gonna set it with powder, if you're gonna set it with powder, I wouldn't build it up too much, because then you'll get, you know, cakey under your eyes. Now, as far as powder goes, if I do set my under eyes with anything lately, I have been using the Nars Translucent Crystal Light Reflecting Setting Powder. This stuff, I have to be super careful with it. It's just a white powder. I just barely touch my finger on it. You can, I mean, it just, how I'm able to do this is I'll get my beauty blender, and yes, it's dirty because I used it, but I gotta wash it. I will barely get any on there and go like that and knock the extra stuff off until it stops going everywhere, and then roll it underneath my eyes. I won't sit here and do it over and over and over, just enough to kind of get the tackiness of the concealer to where it, you know, you're not going to have big creases from your, if you have wrinkles under your eyes, you know what I'm talking about. However, sometimes, I don't know what the thing is, sometimes it works. Sometimes I'll put it under there and maybe I didn't get it all off or something, and when I go to do it, it's crepey and looks like crap. If that happens, I have learned a tiny little trick. It was, oh gosh, I can't even remember who it was, but it was on YouTube somewhere a long time ago, years ago. And they had some kind of oil. So what I use, I don't know what kind of oil they were using, I don't remember. But what I use is a tiny amount of the Josie Marin argan oil. I mean tiny. Don't even drop any into your hand. Just run your finger down the side of it and get a little bit on there. Rub it between your fingers and then rub it on your thumbs, and then kind of tap under your eye. And it'll get rid of that crepiness. Don't get too much or you're going to look like your eyes are watering oil. And that's going to be bad. That's the only solution I have come up with that, as far as getting the cakiness to go away. We'll do the hooded eyes in the next Wednesday. And I'll show you my tricks for that. But if you have any suggestions or tips or tricks that you have, if you have the same kind of problems, you know, not all of us are so fortunate to be in our 20s anymore, and we're a little bit older, even though I don't want to admit that. There's different problems, and that was my number one thing for starting this channel, was to try and go through my problems, and hopefully somebody out there has the same kind of problems and we can kind of figure it out together. as to how to deal with it. So, all of that being said, thumbs up this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh my gosh.
Starts here. My makeup table's a mess. I'm even gonna wing it.
Wing it.
Get it? Cause I ain't know me.